Welcome to Material Things with Archmozzo. I am Sidharth and today we will be connecting with Krishika, the founder of Evolve India. Evolve is a multidisciplinary design studio known for its modern designs and unique texture finishes. Their surface finishes are compatible with interiors, exteriors, furniture, and decor. Listen to this podcast to know everything about their journey till now, about how and where you can use these beautiful surface finishes, and all the essential details that you need to have to use them. This podcast is presented by Archmozzo, which is a platform for architects and designers to explore various building materials, order samples for those materials, and get the samples delivered at their doorsteps within 48 hours for free. So, stay tuned till the end and let's get started.
Okay. So, hey Krishika, welcome to Material Things. Please introduce yourself and a brief introduction about Evolve India.
Hi, I'm Krishika, and I'm the founder as well as the marketing director at Evolve. Evolve supplies you with artisanal interior products in the form of like panels, door skins, as well as decor pieces. And as you move through the interview, I'm sure you will want to know more. So I'll keep
Definitely, definitely.
the details reserved for the next part of it.
Okay, okay. So, yes, I would like to understand the background of Evolve. I think Evolve is a old company. You have been there in the space for a long time now. So,
Yes.
what were the changes that you guys have seen over time, and what is the current market situation according to you for these kinds of
So
designs?
we started out in 2013 as actually a
Okay.
trading company that was doing, smart home products, not
Hmm.
like wall fixtures and, paints, etc.
Mm-hmm.
But now we pivoted to manufacturing because we realized that it was very expensive to keep up a trading company because custom costs
Hmm.
are a lot. Inventory cost is a lot. It's very difficult to maintain variety. And we also believe that, India is a very demanding and a price sensitive market. So it
Hmm.
made more business sense to be manufacturing locally. And in the
Okay.
time when we were doing these smart home utility products, we realized that there's like this niche about creative textures or creative wall art that exists. Everything was
Hmm.
standardized, everything was available to everyone, which was almost like a commodity, right? Like if you
Hmm.
go and buy any kind of building material, you wouldn't see a lot more bespoke options that would cater to your personality or your style or something that's unique to your home.
Hmm.
And we also realized that, there were all these new technologies coming up using which we could, push the boundaries of many kind of
Okay.
different materials which were not being done in India. So we
Hmm.
decided to go learn, understand the technology. We bought the know-how for it, and we
Hmm.
started manufacturing in Mumbai, in India.
Hmm.
And it took us about 1 to 2 years to just like do R&D, standardize our processes, standardize our designs.
Hmm.
And by then we were hit with demonetization.
Oh.
So we had to get more creative because we started out with a little range,
Huh.
which was super expensive, and then we had to get the concrete in. So I
Hmm.
think a lot of what we are today is more the outcome of the environment and the challenges that came with it, and
It
less
got
of what
shaped according to that.
yeah, lesser of what
Okay.
we had planned for it to be.
It's good. It's good. You evolved according to the requirements.
Yes.
That's why the name evolves.
So we actually, when we started out, the whole motto, the goal was to help, every household evolve. Because even the smart
Hmm.
home products that we were doing, which we do have a few right now yet, which is the drying racks or like the smart switches, was to make life easier, everyday life easier for people. So we were
Hmm.
also picking on products which were not available easily or would like kind of make it simple to do those everyday chores. And
Hmm.
then when we got these textures, it was lesser about the aesthetics, but the
Hmm.
ease of installation. How does somebody, get this for their home very easily and install it and make it
Hmm.
easier than, having to give 7 to 10 days to do an on-site work or some kind of polishing. So we always kept that in mind when we were developing our products.
Hmm. So, like your products are already prepared in the factory and then just installed in on the site.
Yes, so we have a very wide supply format. We
Hmm.
also supply our products in ready to clad panel formats. So it's literally ready, comes to your house. You just stick it with glue and it's done. So it takes you a day to install it.
Okay.
And it's
Hmm.
pretty much the last thing you do, right? So walls have
Hmm.
to be left bare. And once your flooring is done, you can get them installed. Also, we do offer on-site services if somebody wants a seamless wall, specifically, if you have like a double-heighted wall or you're doing a hospitality project, they want to make it unique. We do offer that as well. However,
Okay.
our material is also available in the form of kits. So if you have a contractor, we can help you train the contractor and you can get it done in-house. So it's not
Okay.
about what we want you to do. It's more about what's feasible for that project, that size, that scale, and that location.
Based on the
Because
requirement only you work.
there's a lot of things we consider when we're supplying. So we always ask the person that, kya kar rahe ho aap? Where is this being done? Why are you selecting this design? Which area are you applying to? So, what is your base surface preparation? And we guide the client accordingly to like the right design and the right supply format.
Okay. And when you say you train the contractors, what is it about? Like, you have a team for that
So
particular
we have,
purpose?
we have it both ways. They can come down to a factory and we also offer them physical training. We do have videos of certain textures. So we also do share videos if they're not, in town. And if we don't have a team, like say in that city or state particularly, we do share videos. On a more longer term association, we have contractors we tie up with from different states who come down, train with us. So that's available, for an end client to just have the contractor come in and do the texture.
So even if they have a contractor, he can be trained. Otherwise, you will send your own contractor for the.
Yes.
Okay. So, like, what is your background? How did you end up in this construction space? And like, what was the motivation of building something like Evolve? Like, pretty much it is clear from that you told me. It got changed with the time and all. But what was your motivation for it?
So I'm not a professionally trained designer, nor do I come from a school of fine arts. I have studied my business management degree, so I've done my BBA and my MBA. But I've been a student of art throughout my life. So I've done elementary, I've done intermediate, all my electives were art. I've always had a keen eye on colors and I understand color psychology very well. So when we were doing a business plan project for my MBA degree, we realized that there was this market for, smart home automation, smart home products. And I've always wanted to do something of my own because I come from a business family. So it's very clear that I would want to have my own business. So I started out in trading with smart home products, quickly realizing how capital intensive it was. And when you go to all these trade shows and exhibitions, you realize that, there are these new things and you don't see them in your own country. So you come back and then you do your research and then you realize that, okay, I think this is a market we could penetrate into. And my dad comes from the background of, working with stainless steel, metal. So he understands raw materials very well. So, he came on board to help me set up the manufacturing unit, to help me set up the entire standardization process, which is when we decided to pivot, right? Because when we pivoted from like a trading to a manufacturing company, there was a lot of help I'd required to like set it up in just terms of, standardization and testing and making sure that it's going to be durable. It's a very, you require longevity with these products. So that's where it came from. We obviously got trained by many different people. We learned a lot of different art forms and science forms. We got to understand a lot of different technologies for every layer that goes into the making of this. So that's where my journey started from. When we started out, it was yet going to be a surface design company where we were yet supplying standardized textures. But like I said, different scenarios shaped our journey, and now we're lesser of just surface design. We're more like, pre-designed surfaces, but in different supply formats.
Got it. That's nice. Okay. So like initially also you stopped in between while telling about different materials, and I am very interested in talking about that. Like going to your website, through your website as well, there are different categories, and every category have many options in that. So like what all can an client or an architect can expect when they are coming to Evolve? And firstly that, then let's get to the next question.
Sure. So the reason I didn't go into detail in the start is when I'll take you through a product journey, you'll understand how much of the environment has shaped us. Like I said, we started with liquid metal. So we were supposed to be doing a lot of liquid metal finishes and textures and helping people craft with metal better. So, kind of add these unique looks to your metal designs, create with metal. And then came demonetization. So we had to introduce a more economical option in terms of finishes. And that's how we got decorative concrete rolled out in that year. Because the price points are much different. And we started working on textures in concrete, which could again be supplied in different formats.
So how is this decorative concrete, like how to use that? Like it's kind of panels or paint or kind of stuff?
So decorative concrete, we supply it to you in the form of pre-designed panels. So you can pick a texture from a standard library and order the panel and we can supply it. We also offer you the material. So you can get the material, you can get like our training videos, get trained on how to create those textures, which can be done directly on a wall. A lot of furniture people hire material to do the concrete on furniture pieces. So it can also be used on furniture. We haven't yet launched our flooring. We're yet doing a testing on it. So flooring is not something we've launched yet.
Flooring is also something that is going to come through Evolve.
Yes, for sure. Because it's a full service thing, right? If you want to do a
entire
ceiling to
solution.
Yes, you want to have that option of some flooring product. And we also have it in the form of door skins. So we have some designs made which are a little more designer, which are meant for like, just one part of your house because they're quite bold and they're quite, I would say, intricate. And people like their walls to be a little more subtle, but you don't mind your doors being a little designed. So we do also offer pre-designed in concrete door skins that somebody can just buy and install it onto their doors.
Okay. What is the base material of like the doors that you were saying?
So the doors we normally supplied in the form of either WPC or HTF or MDF, depending on the requirement if it's an exterior door or an interior door. So you can tell us what you're using it for, and we will tell you what base will go for that project.
Got it. Yeah, you can continue with the products.
Yeah, so we started out, and that's when concrete came in. When we started out with concrete, we were yet just doing panels and factory finishes. So people would send us their pieces to the factory and we would finish it. And then we started working on, different formulations. So to kind of make different textures just from one material. So what we said is you don't need to buy 4 or 5 different materials to create 5 different textures. Just from one base material, we will teach you how to create more than 6 different textures. So we were also wanting to be innovative with the material we're putting out, not just keeping in mind that that's what we stand for and that's what our philosophy is to help people who work with us. And the biggest problem contractors have is that they have to buy 5 different components if they want to create a textured finish. One is a paint, one is a enamel, one is a texture coat. So we just made it into one kit. So with us, when you buy a kit, that's it. And you can reuse it because you can just store it in a dry place. So that's with our material kits. We have the panels. The door skins came by because we saw a big demand in designs in door skins, but we saw that people didn't want to send us those. Logistics wise, doors are expensive to send to the factory. And even if we make the doors, where do we keep them, right? Because they're yet going to be bulky to dispatch. So we thought, why not, just like the way you put panels on your, walls, why not create door skins, which can go on the plywood. So you can get the 30 mm, 40 mm ka base for whatever door you're doing and just basically install the door skin and PU polish the edges and you're good to go. So that's where the idea of the door skins was born from. And it would be a little more experimental in design there because there were so many designs which were bold, but you can't use them on walls. So we made sure that all our fancier designs are in our door skin category. And also then COVID happened, right? So the use of pre-made products just increased. There was no labor available. There was, just people didn't want labor to come into their house to finish their projects. So we just grew this category over that time because we already were seeing a demand, you give me the design, you make the product, send it over. We just want to install it. So these pre-designed products kind of became the norm. And I also feel like they'll stick around because clients are seeing the benefit of saving time on site. None of your polishing, none of your cutting is happening on site.
That's true.
They're ready to go. They're just installed. So I would say the time that they're saving is becoming more efficient. They're utilizing it more efficiently in finishing their flooring or finishing whatever the actual painting jobs are on site. So that way is how we've evolved in our products. And we, of course, in the lockdown added the decor category because a lot of people wanted to shop online. And we thought that we had the expertise to kind of make, unique decor pieces, murals or wall arts. And that's when the decor category came into existence. So this has been how we've shaped up our products and how they've come to be.
So
And
like every kind of, mostly all kinds of decor items are available with you.
yes. So this year we're hoping to launch flooring, and next year we're
Okay.
hoping to get into furniture. So that would make it like a wholesome
End to end,
solution.
everything. If you want a home, you can come to
Yeah.
us.
Yes. The only difference
Okay.
being, of course, they're designed keeping our finishes and our aesthetics in mind. And they're not like, oh, we don't become a contracting company, but a one-stop shop to buy different unique products for
Of
all
that
kind of
niche.
surfaces. Yes, of all kind of surfaces. So, so you want to do something unique in furniture, or if you want something unique for your wall, or if you want like a unique exterior. So, you'll find something here for all surfaces.
Okay. So it's
that's
not limited to just like metallic finishes or concrete finishes, anything and
No.
everything that.
So we are limited by the materials we use because we're not a paint company. We're a coatings company to per se. We work with liquid metal. We work with decorative concrete. We work with instant rust. However, we will be adding more materials in the future, which is more mixed media. So we will be
Okay.
probably combining resin with metal to give you another look. But it's never going to go down to, just doing paints, because that's what we're like, the opposite of that value proposition, right? That we work with real material and we help you push the boundaries of those materials like concrete and metal and create
Got
something
it.
which is, beautiful.
And yes, when you say panels, like for installation of that over any wall, is there anything that is to be done on the wall beforehand, like any kind of finishes or something, or directly it can be installed on the raw finish?
So ideally, you'd want a even sanded out wall, which is primed, so that, there's no uneven surface. Otherwise, gluing it becomes a problem. So we recommend that you have a primed wall. If it's painted beforehand, you sand it down because paint can like come off,
Oh
which will make
yes.
the panel come off. So you want to take care of what your base preparation is, and then you can easily install it. Most important has to be even. It cannot be undulated or it can't have rough edges if you're installing the panel.
Okay. And like talking about the life and durability of these materials, what is it about, like how long it can stay in the same shape like it's installed?
So we tell you that it's a lifelong guarantee because it's a surface coating, right? Once you coat a surface, the coating is not going to come off unless it's like a mechanical abrasion or like there's some scratching going on. We take a 7-year warranty for interior and exterior in case there's any manufacturing defect. But if you're going to be like, drilling the wall multiple times, it is going to cause cracks at some places because of the drilling. So any mechanical damage is not counted for, but if you don't touch it and you just use it as it's supposed to be used, then it stay lifelong till you break the substrate. It won't break or chip or crack.
Got it. It's great. Okay, so I like after that I wanted to talk about the design process. Like you mentioned, there are a lot of designs, and like I got an idea about how it came through according to different situations and circumstances. You just evolved and created new designs. So how does your design journey look like? Like how do you do your research that this is something that we need to do? Okay, we should start concrete finishes or like that, and how does that look like for the entire design process?
So, like when you start a coatings business, you're aware of what's in the market. You're aware of what's getting, what's going to be used more and more as time comes by. So right now you would have seen a lot of concrete surfaces around. You will see them in pots, you will see them in lighting, you will see them, available in terms of decor and furniture. So concrete is here to stay for another while. So then we'll invest in more concrete designs. We also work with a lot of freelance product designers, a freelance texturing artists who come on board to create the textures for us, and then we commission them. If we like them and if we feel like, they can work on a larger scale and they kind of relate to the kind of brand that we're building. So we do work with a lot of product and design freelancers. Apart from that, there's always inspiration around you. So sometimes, you're just looking somewhere and like an inspiration strikes. So we do have an in-house R&D team who will just come up with ideas as well that, why not try this or this combination will look great. Many a
Okay.
times, in fact, interior designers are like our best designers. So they come in with like, oh, I have an idea. Can we make this? And we make it. And then normally we ask them, are you okay if we introduce this as a standard design in our
Okay.
system and we show it to others? And most designers are very happy to let us do that. So there are multiple people contributing in the design journey per se. So I'd
Okay.
say in terms of what designs we put out, it's a very collaborative effort. Also, we don't believe in one design language. So you might see a lot of brands or a lot of like specifically furniture people, they stick to a category, right? But
True.
because we are big believers that, custom work, bespoke work is so in and is what people are going to pay for in the future. We don't believe that it has to be minimal. We don't have to believe it has to be maximal. It's literally what you want is what will work with you to get to you. So if your
Got it.
personality is very chic and you want something colorful, we'll give you ideas for that. If your personality is very like, okay, I want it very, subtle and not very loud, we'll give you ideas for that. So we work with the client because I feel like that's the kind of business we want to be in, is to create and be different for the client. And we keep experimenting. So we love that. It's like, that's what drives us every day.
That's nice. Like, it's not just about the latest trends or the requirements. It's more of the what clients basically want, what they are looking for, and what suits their personality and requirements.
Yes.
Okay. And like it is also mentioned in the website, like future is bespoke. I would like to talk about like how does the customization work with you? How any architect or an end consumer has to contact you, and what does the whole journey look like for that when if they want to customize any product with you? How does it look like?
So normally a customization process is pretty simple with us. Usually people come down to the showroom or any partner who's around, they'll go visit the partner or have like the agent come in to just see the textures. Then they'll share like their inspiration or their drawings or their needs. Usually a lot of designers have renders made, right? So they have an idea, kya chahiye. So they'll come and show it to us, be like, this is the color palette we're working with. Do you have
Okay.
something for it? Or this is the texture we're looking for, or this is the kind of movement we want to add. Once they come to us, we will show them what we have. We'll also show them a few other ideas. If they have an idea, right, they already have come with the idea, we want to do this, then we make a sample for them for that specific design or texture. If we are giving the ideas, we'll tell them, you can change this color, you can change this pattern, you can mix
Got
these
it.
two designs. So it's pretty simple. I think it's very collaborative. We just get on calls, or normally we go meet the client or we meet the designer. We understand the brief. We table up some options which we feel they may or may not like. Once we come to know what their liking is, what they're leaning towards, we will then work on making a sample for that kind of a design, color, pattern, whatever they want. Once
Okay.
we make the sample, it gets sent to them. If the client likes it, they like it, then that's it. Then we
Okay.
go and produce like the panel or door skin. We do also actually work on a lot of custom decor pieces. So
Okay.
usme kya hota hai, normally people will send us a design or they'll send us like 4-5 images just to say कि these are the kind of looks we like. Or simply sometimes they go to our website, they like a pattern and they go like, मुझे ये size में चाहिए. So how will you scale it up? How will you make like a 2 feet by 2 feet into like a 6 by 7 feet? What will you add? What will you subtract? So sometimes it's just a very direct conversation. I just need a bigger scale, and what's
Okay.
going to change. So we give them a visualization, if you're going this much bigger, this is how it will look like. Then they come back and they go like, okay, I want to change this color. I want it more copper. I want it more rose gold. So we'll change it up and then that's it. So I feel like customization sounds difficult, but it's actually much easier given that we've been doing this for so long. So for us, we have a very wide array of options. So you just have to come in and tell me what's working for you, and then we'll show you more options in that range, design, or whatever.
Okay. And like, is there any minimum requirement or minimum budget that needs to be there if they are coming for customization?
Not really. It's just they should come with time. Most people come to us like, can you give this to me in 3 weeks? Sometimes it's not possible. When you have a lot of other work going on, I always tell people, please time leke aana. Customize, you amazing things. But we need to also internally have the right time, creative energy bhi aana. It's not always there.
True.
Sometimes it doesn't strike you for
नहीं
a
हो
week.
पाता है. हाँ.
So I tell people come with time. दूसरा सब manage कर लेंगे. You tell me your budget. I'll give you ideas in your budget. Not a problem. Just don't tell me give this to me in 2-3 weeks because that's tough. Yeah,
So,
but
and
if they
what
just
is the?
sorry, I
Tell
was just
me.
saying they're scaling up. That's the easier part, right? That's possible in a shorter time. But if it's like a custom from scratch, that takes a little longer.
Okay, okay. And like, what is the usual timeline of the products? Like, if something
So
is customized.
standard products, anytime between 2 to 4 weeks, depending on how loaded the factory is. And custom products, anywhere between 3 to 6 weeks, depending on how custom we're going. Sometimes we also have to test which base we're making it on. Because if it's a very, very custom job, it's a big mural or like, some super heavy piece or furniture piece, we need to test many things before the final product comes into existence. So it
Okay.
depends on what the product is.
Got it, got it. Like there are many things that are going on.
Yeah. So ideally, even though we call ourselves interior products company, I would say that we're almost like a surface design studio, right? It's like you come, we'll make something different for you for whatever part of your house you want. You come and we give you ideas. It's not necessary कि तुम standardized ही खरीदो. So that I feel is our core, which is just experimentation and innovation, is always giving you something different, unique, and with keeping in mind that it should be a little evolved. It should be a little different. It should be simplifying your life. It should be making your life easier. So that is where we come from.
And like you connect with both end consumers and architects, both the people.
Yeah, so usually we're always showcasing our designs to architects and designers because they're doing projects every day. But in the showroom, we do have a lot of people visiting us, जो अपना खुद का घर कर रहे हैं, and they just walk by. So sometimes they also find us. Even on social media, a lot of times end clients just find us. So we cater to both. It's not like, we only work with designers. We work with end clients as well.
Okay, okay. And yes, yeah, you were talking about the standard products also take 2 to 3 weeks. So, like it is also manufactured based on requirements only.
So all our panels and door skins are just in time. So as once you place the order, it goes into manufacturing. For the material kits, we obviously maintain stock. So that you can get within the same 2-3 days, we can dispatch it. But obviously the larger size products are about 2 to 3.
Okay, okay. Okay. It's great like hearing about everything. I'm just amazed after listening to every different thing about your saying. So like what has been the response from the customers and the architects as well? Like I am very much into like I like the idea about whole Evolve India and what you guys are doing. But what has been the response from the end clients? Are they readily using it? Is there any resistance from them? नहीं मेरे को तो regular products ही चाहिए. I don't want to take that risk. I have to be in this place for long. I wanted any kind of resistance you have faced so far?
I think most people who visit us love us because it's something unique. So whenever we've seen people walk into the showroom, they leave with like, alag hai, they'll remember us. Which is what we aim to be, right? When you walk in, we don't want you to be like, "Arey, ye idhar bhi mil jayega, ye udhar bhi mil jayega." Nahi. So at least we're serving a purpose for the fact that we are standing out. Now, the quality that we have is because we offer concrete and liquid metal and rust. The designs go from subtle to bold. So there's something for everybody. Very plain wall, you want a like simple wall, you can take concrete. You don't want some loud colors, you want a very custom color concrete. You want like a shiny thing or even like a matte patina thing. You want something which is vintage, go for metal. So we have a lot of options which kind of serve all themes. So resistance though, it doesn't come on in terms of like product or finishing or any of that sorts. Major one thing that we've seen in terms of resistance is beyond Bombay, like, if we have partner showrooms, great. But in some tier 2 cities, there is like demand, but there's no display, larger format. So उसमें क्या होता है, like छोटे samples में पता नहीं चल रहा है that, what is the full sheet going to look like? Because ours is not a standard sheet. If you're doing like a standard one patch is okay. So I think most people want to see bigger displays. So now we circulate like our e-catalogs. Because उससे एक idea आ जाता है कि full format में ऐसा दिखेगा. So once you show them the digital project images या तो renders, they're okay with it. They're like, okay, I got what it's going to look like, and now I can visualize it. So we work a little more on developing these, I would say majorly renders of all the panels that we have. Because we have so many designs, it's not possible to showcase all of them everywhere.
That's
It's
true.
yeah, humanly not possible, because it's also going to be a lot of waste of time and resources.
And it's just
To
confusion.
through
मतलब multiple चीजें दिखा देंगे तो they will also won't be sure about कि क्या करना है. If they
yeah,
have something in
and
mind, and you will work according to that.
correct. And now if you tell somebody that I want to put 400 panels in one area, where do you find the space, right? 400 is not small. When you say 8 by 4, it's quite a lot. So you have to keep in mind that, how to showcase these products is a challenge we always face. And the other challenge we face is when people see us online, they don't understand the actual texture kya hai. Because textures are very naked eye, feel and touch thing, which we're yet figuring what we can do more about it. Because some people will be like, kya ye wallpaper hai? And I get it, because वो digital पे समझ में नहीं आता है what is the difference between a 3D feel and a wallpaper feel. But that's just, I would say, the limitation for the entire industry, right?
That is
Today,
true.
अगर
That's why samples are required.
exactly. And today, when you see furniture also, if you don't test it, you won't know how it's going to feel. Now, वो उसका limitation है. Now they can't keep furniture pieces everywhere for your testing. You have to take a judgment call कि, ये मेरे लिए अच्छा है कि नहीं. The same way, if you're like buying any kind of texture finishes or even like a wallpaper for that matter, the colors online are different, because
Very, very
it's not the
different.
same as naked eye. They are different. वो कुछ नहीं कर सकते हम. वो सबका problem is an industry problem. So I feel like that's a resistance we see, that I wish we could see it in person, or अरे मैं कभी आऊंगी तो देख लूंगी. But in terms of product, in terms of just the options available, we haven't seen any particular resistance to it right now. Touch wood.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's great. So, like you guys are working pan India. Any designer from any part can order
Yes,
through.
yes. So we have a lot of partners. We have partners in Delhi, Kolkata. We have partners in Nasik, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Rajkot. And we're looking for more partners as we grow. So hopefully we'll be there in more tier 1 and tier 2 cities. We also do cater to projects internationally. So we've done projects in Malaysia, in Saudi, in Dubai, and we want to penetrate that market more. So we are even looking to grow not just locally, but also go international.
Got it. And what is your what assumption about tier 2 cities? Like tier 1 cities, I understand like people would love to use it. What about tier 2 cities? Have you tried with any clients, or you have to enter
So
tier 2?
we actually do cater to a lot of tier 2 cities. We see more demand in tier 2 than tier 1. I feel like maybe because there's more second homes popping up in tier 2. A lot of people are buying, tier 1 se tier 2 mein kafi people are buying homes or investing in homes or like vacation homes. Even tier 2 ka spending capacity has increased. They're now more aware about market mein kya hai. They also want unique things. So I feel that disparity between tier 1 and tier 2 is decreasing. Plus I feel that tier 1 ka cost of housing is very high. Like rentals are high, or just buying a house is very expensive. So your disposable income for your interiors is lesser. But in tier 2, you have more money to spend on your interiors. So you're open to do the best you can, and not cutting corners anywhere. So I feel we're seeing a good amount of demand in tier 2 as much as we're seeing in tier 1. So that is a good thing, I guess, for everyone. Yeah.
I thought tier 1 cities is more like in demand of these kind of products. But yes, like tier 1 in these Delhi, Mumbai, all these areas, mostly there are flats and mostly constructed. Some people do the interior stuff. Like many people do interiors, but yes, now I get it.
Yeah, like if you go to Indore, it's a whole villa. So the amount of applications, so you'll always buy more things now because your home is bigger. And plus, it's not cost you as much as it would have cost you in Bombay to buy it. So you can like put money into getting the best kind of wall panels or products or furniture pieces or whatever that they're investing in. So I think that's why there is a decent demand from tier 2 as well.
Okay. And like if it isn't requirement is in tier 2, then like shipping and all is very convenient for you. Like
it's the same as tier 1. I feel
breakage and all is not a problem with you, right?
No, not a problem.
Like in tiles and all that stuff, like we are also connecting with clients. So in tier 2 cities, it is like due to transportation, many things happen during the journey. So regarding Evolve, there is no such issues.
No, because the transport is arranged by us. So I mean, if we know the one sending to say Delhi, we obviously know people who will go via Indore or via somewhere else. So
Hmm.
we always send it to the same person. So tier 1 में जिससे
Hmm.
जा रहा है, tier 2 में उससे ही जाता है. So that's, we've not
Hmm.
seen an issue in terms of breakings and like, or any kind of transport issues till date.
ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है. Got it. I hope there is a lot of information about you all now. So, like
Thank
coming
you.
to the end of the podcast, I would like to understand what are the do's and don'ts that any person who is using Evolve products in their places have to keep in mind. Like, what are the regular checks they have to do? Any finishes or anything that they have to do regularly to keep it in best conditions?
So I'd say do's, when you're applying it, make sure that your base preparation is good. There's no water seepage because it does
Hmm.
result into issues in the longer term. So do your
Hmm.
waterproofing. Don't like, cut corners in that. People feel like
Hmm.
chal jayega, but mat karo, like it's good for you only. Second, we say don't clean our products with any solvent-based or alcohol-based cleaners because the top coat wears off. So just clean it with a damp cloth and it's good to go. Even if it's dusty, कुछ like गिर भी गया है उसके ऊपर, just clean it with a damp cloth.
Okay.
Third, we don't recommend using liquid metal around fire areas because color change होता है. Because it's real
Hmm.
metal, it's not paint. So we don't recommend using it वो kitchen के जहाँ पे भी आप cooking कर रहे हो उसके पीछे जो
हाँ.
दाडो tiles बोलते हैं वो area में मत use करो.
Hmm.
And also not on flooring because we are not a flooring finishing company yet.
Hmm.
Apart from that, other maintenance is just make sure you're not using any sharp objects around or on it directly.
Hmm.
अगर tabletop पे use कर रहे हो तो use a mat, table mats use कर लो या whatever to put your utensils on it. Don't put anything super hot directly on it, specifically if it's metal. Concrete चल जाएगा. Concrete is very sturdy. Plus, our concrete can be polished to like a stone-like hardness. So once you let
Okay.
it cure and polish it, it's as good as a stone. So then there's no worry. But with metal, obviously because it's natural metal and metal reacts with things, you want to make sure that वो थोड़ा care, basic care लेना पड़ता है.
Basic hygiene जो maintain करना है बस उतना ही है.
Yeah, basic. And don'ts may majorly this, just be careful, like, the use case, specifically if it's a utility product, if you're putting it on. And the other thing I would say is be mindful कि आप कौन सा metal choose कर रहे हो between interiors and exteriors. Some metals tend to oxidize. So if you don't want that oxidation happening, choose the other metals. Or choose, like उसका oxidized form ही install कर दो. तो वो color change नहीं होगा. आप जो देख रहे हो वही रहेगा. So you
ठीक है.
preferably then pick like, a patina metal that is patinated versus like picking something which is like pure metal. So I would say all of this is yet very technical and we walk the client through it. But सिर्फ basic है कि make sure कि आपका base preparation बराबर हो, आपका wall even हो. When you're installing it, you take care of the basic, आप कैसे install कर रहे हो, कौन सा glue use कर रहे हो. Don't use like a sub version of a glue. Use like we normally recommend कि if you're mindful about when your application is happening, the product will last you much longer. But if you cut corners at that time, it will come back to you within a few years or months, technically like that. Yeah, and basically just clean it with a damp cloth.
So glue, like it is provided from your end, or they have to source it on their
No, we give you recommendations of the different glues you
recommendation.
can use. Yeah. We tell you that this is a good glue, this is a good glue. आपके market में जो मिल रहा है आप ले लो. But we say that, don't try to cut corners because बहुत सारे लोग करते हैं ऐसा. They dilute the glue or like, I don't know why, maybe because it's easier to apply. But yeah, so that thing shouldn't happen. And
Got
I
it.
think this is also a game of which contractor you're working with, right? If you work with the right contractors, they will tell you कि ये ऐसे ही करो तो be better for you. So normally most contractors को पता होता है क्या करना होता है. So example, अगर आप वो panel भी काट रहे हो, if you cut it with one of the older wheels, जो इसको like it's been used a lot, then your cutting doesn't happen precisely. So you have to see the usage of your axle wheel, your wood axle that you're cutting it with. Make sure that you're using good quality tools to do your cutting also to get the sharpness that you would want in a new panel. So those things I think matter more than like the other maintenance parts.
Got it. So yes, like, okay, everything is covered, I guess. Like any person who is watching this, they will have a better idea of how and what they can expect when they are coming to Evolve. So it was great connecting with you. I got to know a lot about all the products that are there, and like looking forward for the flooring part of Evolve very soon.
Thank you. I hope we can launch it this year. It's been about a year and a half in the making. but we just want to
Mhm.
be sure that when we launch it, that we've covered all the testing and done all our R&D. Because of the kind of customers we deal with, we don't want to show cracks. We don't want those undulations. So
Mhm.
उसमें ज़्यादा time लग रहा है.
So, like every product that comes out, it goes behind like 1 to 2 years of research and testing and trials.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So,
It's required because if you're giving it as a only material kit, so then the
Mhm.
application is not in your hands, right? So when you're at least applying, tumko pata hai science, but not everybody knows. So then you want to
Mhm.
make sure you test it, you simplify the formulation, you simplify the application steps, because you have
Mhm.
to remember that somebody else using it is unka bhi time ja raha hai, unka bhi wo
हाँ,
cost add ho raha hai. So you don't want to
Mhm.
give like a 7 दिन का process. You want to give like
Mhm.
a 1, 2, 3 day का process. And all of this
Mhm.
takes time, right? How do you concise it? How do you fast track it? What do you change in the
True.
formulation? So that takes a lot of time to get to a market.
Got it, got it.
So yeah,
So yes, it was great connecting with you, Krishika.
thank
I
you so
hope
much.
we connect more in future. We connect more to talk about things.